I think MJ is overrated as a live performer. He was good, but nothing like a god when it comes to live performances. Most weren't mind blowing, in my opinion. I mean,
No, oh no,
what?
no. I just read the comment that Bubbles said, and MJ sucks. Bottom line.
So I'm actually curious because I don't really like. It's not. I can't say that I disagree, but I don't really understand why you think that. What's wrong with MJ's performing? I thought his performing was outstanding. He was one of the few performers who was able to make people faint just from looking at him. So, like, what exactly, in your opinions, made his performance is overrated?
He had 17 fans faint just from him rising up on the stage in Dangerous Tour.
Yeah, all the time, and that was like every show, not just Bucharest. I mean, okay, so while people are typing, I'm going to explain why I think his performances were outstanding. Because like the way that he would get people fainting and crying, and when doing basically nothing, the fact that he was notorious for always extending songs past their like actual CD length, like Billie Jean, Beat It, Black or White, Working Day and Night. He was always extending songs to make them, you know, more electrifying. The way that he would get like during "Wanna Be Starting Something," the way he get people going and clapping and jumping around, it was just outstanding. And then you got the magic tricks for like danger. Keep in mind it was the '90s, right? So there wasn't as many like effects and stuff, but for what there was, you know, the toaster is shooting out of the ground. You got the magic tricks. You got the fucking jetpack at the end. Like it was amazing. And in clothing changes on every song, pretty much. Like that's all really really important stuff for performing. So yeah.
I love Michael's dancing. His singing is just I. There are some live performances where he's just.
Actually, I disagree. I disagree, Scarabite. I think a performance can be anything that gets people going. You don't have to necessarily, well, in Michael's case, you didn't have to necessarily be always be doing something to show how good of a performer you were. Like the first 2 minutes before jam began, but also he would pause during songs like Human Nature and Want to Be Starting Something, right? And when he did these pauses, people still went nuts, even just the pause. And what that shows to me is that you're getting the crowd going so intensely that even when you stop, people just can't contain themselves. That's because of your performance power, I think, anyway.
MJ also, his fans went nuts when all he did was walk on the stage in a white V-neck.
Also, hang on before I continue reading. X, um, Johnny was just telling us about his graduation.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, Chris Taylor says he would often lip sync and he wouldn't really add anything new to his performances. He would often do the same choreography for his songs, and his vocals weren't always on point. Victory Tour. Okay, so there I agree. But then again, I think here's the only issue I have with what you just said. I think what you just said only applies to History Tour and nothing else. Number one, he did lip sync half of Dangerous, but I think that's okay because he only lip synced the hard songs. Additionally, in terms of adding new things to the performances, if we look at Victory Tour, right? I was obviously new at the time. Then you put in the second leg of the Bad Tour, very, very different. Then you look at Dangerous Tour. It wasn't crazy different, but it was different enough. The only thing that was similar was going into history. And again, like, so I think that's the only tour where things just weren't changed enough per se. So I don't. If we're talking about history, I agree. But if we're talking about overall, I do not agree. And as for the same choreography, that was also normal though for most artists. Most artists create one choreography for a song, and then they keep doing it. The only time choreographies change is when it's a different song, right? Um,
I could
like
just bet. I can imagine him doing the OG Thriller, and then like the History Tour comes around.
now, here's the thing. Now, when it's classic song, it's actually important to maintain the choreography because that's what people look for, right? I mean, the thing is, I think the entire reason why songs like Dangerous, Billie Jean, Smooth Criminal, etc. are iconic is because he does the same thing. That intro pose is iconic because you've seen it over 1,000 times. If he changed it, it wouldn't be iconic anymore. things are iconic because they're done over and over again, and they become recognizable. That's the whole purpose of things being iconic even is. What do we got here next? Sorry. Oh, I really missed a lot. So if I'm charming enough, I can stand there for 2 minutes and I automatically get credit for being a good performer. But you got to understand though, it takes a good performer to get to that point, right? You have to work up to being able to do that. You understand what I mean? And it's being the good performer that allows you to be able to do that. So it's not about doing it; it's about what gave you permission and the ability to do it. And everything he had done up to that point allowed for it, right? Bad Tour, for example, he would walk out, not shoot out or anything like that, and he'd stand there for only what 15 seconds, not even. But Bad Tour brought him up so high that he was able to do it for a long time on Dangerous Tour. I would agree he did it too long, but he was able to do it, you know? Now, obviously, that's not all it takes, but it's not a good specific thing to point out, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, it's not the strongest point in the world, but I do think it matters to an extent. Dangerous had a bunch of stage props, stage going up and down, the jetpack at the end. Yeah, you've on Heal the World, you've got the planet coming out of the ground when it had like a double stage, right? And he also used that exact same double stage thing for Thriller. Remember when Thriller ended, the stage went up, or sorry, when Billie Jean ended and Thriller was starting. Yeah, that's right. He would stand there, the stage went up, and then boom, he got all the caskets and stuff in the back, and then of course that magic trick. So I mean, there was so much things going on for Dangerous Tour, and it was 1992.
Didn't he
That's
have
that's
the
a
lifts in
lot.
Dangerous?
I'm sorry.
Didn't he have the lifts that come out of the stage in Dangerous? Or was that only history?
What are you referring to by lifts?
Earth Song.
Oh, that. In Dangerous Tour, he only had it for Beat It. That's it.
Oh.
And then on History Tour, he had it for Black or White and Earth Song. No, I'm wrong. He had it for Beat It and Earth Song. Oh, I think he did it occasionally for Black or White in Dangerous Tour, right? Or am I going crazy? Wait, what's wrong with me? Yeah, he did it for Black or White in Dangerous Tour, right? The Cherry Picker.
I'll look it up.
The Cherry Picker, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Dangerous would have been different, and this is it, according to... Yes, that is true. What am I saying? I also feel MJ was overrated because a lot of his moves aren't even his. That's even a video exposing this. Many of his moves come from Boogaloo, Shrimp, and Jeffrey Daniels. Many fans don't know this. So that's another one where obviously it's true, but here's the thing. People take that way out of proportion. Let me explain that as well. So MJ was extremely inspired by many different artists as far back as the 1930s, and it's not just Boogaloo, Shrimp, and Jeffrey Daniels. First of all, Jeffrey Daniels taught him how to moonwalk, and Michael does not credit him, which, Michael's an asshole for that, first of all. But also, Michael was inspired by many dancers: Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, Sammy Davis Jr., Bob Fosse, Cab Calloway, Bill Bailey. He was inspired by dancers from the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think many artists are inspired by artists from the past. A lot of artists today are inspired by Michael. And now you could make the argument that Michael pretty much copied these people or stole from them, but I would argue something very, very specific about that. I don't think he did it. And the reason is because of this. He didn't blatantly steal from anybody. Like, Michael's famous Billie Jean pose was taken from Bob Fosse. We know this. But what's important to keep in mind is that Michael revolutionized it. What he did was unique in the sense that he was able to take all of these artists, all of them, all these dancers throughout history, combine them together and make a coherent dance segment, right? Because it's like, let's say, for example, Michael was to copy James Brown and Bob Fosse. You would see two different dance styles that kind of clash with each other, and it wouldn't flow, right? But what I like that Michael did, and I believe he did this, was that he took dance styles from 50 different dancers throughout history, combined them all together, revolutionized them, and made it into a big coherent dance that he could use for many different songs. And that, in my opinion, takes massive talent. Go ahead, Johnny.
Jeffrey Daniels didn't even invent the moonwalk. He just taught
No,
it.
I know, but Jeffrey taught Michael how to do it.
Yeah. And
The
the cherry picker was not used in Black or White.
Okay, and if you want to talk about invention, it was invented by Cab Calloway in 1932. What else you got here? Right, but he's also Michael Jackson. They're not excited specifically because he's really good at performing live. It's because he made phenomenal music that the audience has been listening to for years. Yeah, but I still think you have to an extent, have what he had and the abilities that he had it with to be able to stand there, right? And still get that kind of reaction. But again, we're not just talking about standing. We're talking about a whole bunch of things.
It was called the backslide back then, right? It wasn't.
Yeah, it was called the back.
No, it was not. When Cab Calloway did it, it was called the Buzz.
It was called.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't called the backslide. It wasn't called the backslide until the 50s.
Oh, okay.
That I didn't know. So the moonwalk makes no sense. I always thought it should have been called the treadmill. No.
Wait, Joey, how long have you been here? Because I don't know if you heard everything I've been saying.
I heard because I was getting out of the ash shower, and I was hearing all the stuff and
yeah, I've been talking. It's actually you would love the conversation.
I would love the conversation because I have a lot to say. So
yeah, I don't know how much you heard, but I've been responding to chat. We've been talking about Michael.
You were saying like
why I don't think he's overrated and stuff.
Now here's some of these opinions I might get a little dragged for because that's fucking MJ fuckers. Anyway, I'm gonna read all the comments because like Matt, you are.
Let me just hang on. Okay, so I know you just got here, so let me continue reading, and then you can come in as I'm reading the new comments. So hang on. If I see MJ, I'm gonna faint because it's the guy who made Billie Jean, not because he's about to give a banger performance. But why not both?
Yeah, why not both? Yeah.
Yeah, why not? See, that's what I'm saying. Why not both? We got here. From all the rehearsals and concerts we've seen from This Is It, do you think it would have been the most impressive and unique tour of all time? At least up to that point. Yes. Absolutely, because first of all,
look at Chris Taylor's comment because he actually makes
let me go in order, Joey Moonwalking Kingdom.
Fuck you.
Okay, so hang on. Let me respond to this. If you want to respond, go ahead. So let me respond first. So yes, because what we see from the documentary is that he had a lot of new concepts, all these clothing and all these cool things. Like for me, my favorite transition is Thriller into Threatened. Fucking love that transition. My personal favorite. Lightman was amazing. Just all these concepts that they had, and obviously, the most in-depth performance he had, in my opinion, was Dangerous Tour, not History. I think it was Dangerous had the most cool stuff.
Yes, 100%.
And we're jumping from '92 to 2009, so there would have definitely been some super fucking awesome stuff.
Oh, this is it, 100%. Okay, there's a comment right here.
Hang on, let me go in order. He only ever seemed to give big credit to James Brown, which is kind of dickish. So I'm not sure if you heard me say this, Joey, before you got here, but I was saying about how Michael was inspired by many dancers between the 1930s to the 1980s, but he only really gave credit to James Brown, and he also didn't give credit to Jeffrey Daniels for teaching him how to moonwalk. Which
he never gave credit to Jeffrey Daniels. I don't recall talk. I mean, he might have talked about it on a rare interview. I don't know when it was, but when we're referring to award show speeches, he wouldn't give credit to Jeffrey Daniels.
Yeah, I hate that because Jeffrey taught him how to moonwalk, so that is
very important. He was very important in his career. So
what do we got here? History 2, our favorite song is a hard one. I have an earworm for Hell the World. I'm joking. History DS, You're Not Alone in the Closet.
You are not alone.
Celine Dion was inspired by MJ to learn how to speak and sing in English.
Hold on, fandom.
Yes, the cherry picker was used for Black or White for the Mexico. Yes, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I just watched the Mexico one.
Hang on. It's not fair that when MJ copies moves verbatim, it's considered inspiration. But if I did that or anyone else did it, we'd be calling them a thief. But MJ gets called. Nope, I don't agree. So Joey, let me explain this again. So I want to see if you agree.
Okay.
So as I said, he did not copy things verbatim. You could. I mean, again, I agree with you. You can make the argument, but I can't see it your way because he took concepts and styles from so many people, which has been done throughout history, by the way.
Yeah.
But Michael took from the greatest. And again, let's go through the list again. Cab Calloway, Jeffrey Daniels, James Brown, Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, Sammy Davis Jr., Bill Bailey, Bob Fosse. The list goes on. And what I think Michael did is that he took all of these dancers and put them together in a package and did it in a coherent style and revolutionized it. But I think if you were to truly copy verbatim, it would be a little too in your face. Now, granted, I don't think he did it with what I'm explaining, but he did it in other ways. For instance, I don't think he did it with the dancing, but I think he did it with his videos. For example, Smooth Criminal was stolen directly from one of Fred Astaire's movies, even the suit color. Now, that was blatant theft. But with combining dances, I don't agree with it in that sense. Go ahead, Joey.
I think Vincent. There was something about the whole Smooth Criminal thing. With the I need to find the post because Vincent Patterson himself said that he didn't think that it was directly inspired by Fred Astaire, and that's coming from the guy that literally was the choreographer for Smooth Criminal. But I'm trying to find the video because I don't think he actually said what I'm saying. But let me see if I could find the post because yeah, but I don't know. But with the things that you were saying, oh my god, I would definitely agree with like, hold on, there's one comment I want to read. He didn't really. Oh, I wanted to make a point regarding well, I want you to just tell me what you think, because some people also say that he stole from the Mavis Stables for Shimon, and
I want to backtrack a little
Wait,
bit. I
and
was
also-
wondering. Sorry, what?
Wait, didn't he like take he from Stevie Wonder?
he took it here from Stevie Wonder. Yes,
Did he credit Stevie Wonder for that?
No,
I don't. Nope, he didn't.
Really?
Michael took a lot without giving credit, unfortunately. But the thing was, the sad thing is, I think by the way, just so you know, Michael also stole Shimon.
Mavis Stables.
Thank you. But it's so double edged because Michael did revolutionize. So, for example, the moonwalk in and of itself is done in many different styles. There is literally a tap dancer moonwalk, Bill Bailey. There is a robot moonwalk, Jeffrey Daniels. There is a pop moonwalk, Michael Jackson. The thing is, it's not that he stole the moonwalk. It's been around since 1932. Everybody has done it in a different way. Like you can do the moonwalk and make it look like you're tap dancing, and that's what Bill Bailey did. You can do the moonwalk and make it look like a robot move. That's what Jeffrey Daniels did. You can do the moonwalk and make it look extremely slick and smooth. That's what Michael did. Everybody did it differently. So even if he took things from the past, which he did, he changed it a little bit, and he would combine it with other. Here's a perfect example of Michael taking numerous styles and combining them together. Black or white.
Black or white. Yep. 100%. Now here's what Vincent Patterson said about the Fred Astaire thing. You ready?
Mhm.
Yep.
Michael was probably inspired by what Fred Astaire wore in that, but I have to tell you the truth. I had never seen the dance with Fred Astaire in that outfit when I created Smooth Criminal. I hadn't seen that. I hadn't seen a lot of movie musicals. It wasn't my thing, so I wasn't too familiar with that. I mean, of course, I knew who Fred Astaire was, and I had seen, but I'd seen stuff with Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers in the old days and stuff. But that's
Hold
not.
on, there's more.
But a really cool thing happened to us when we were shooting one day. The man who had choreographed many projects for Fred Astaire, his name was Hermes Pan. He came down to the set and he watched some of the shooting. And after one of the takes, I waved to Michael, and Michael came over and I said, "Michael, this is Hermes Pan." Michael was like, I can't, oh my God, I'm so happy to meet you. What an honor. And Hermes Pan said, Fred Astaire would have cried if he was here today. And Michael and I both started crying. We were so moved. That was like the biggest compliment that I could get and the biggest compliment Michael could get. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to say something. I think he's lying, and I'm going to tell you why.
Oh.
So, first of all, raise your hand if you don't think that Michael stole from Fred Astaire with Smooth Criminal. You guys do think he stole?
I'm mixed.
I mean,
Okay, how about this?
Well,
Hang on.
as well.
I want to get a yes or no, so I'm going to show you a picture, and I think it's going to give you a more direct yes or no.
All right.
You can't look at this and tell me that it was not theft.
Yeah.
It's theft, okay?
Yeah.
Fuck Vincent Patterson. He's a liar. stole it from Fred Astaire. Okay,
No,
this is actual theft. Okay.
Wait, so he didn't give him credit?
No, but then again, here's the thing though. In Michael's mind, he's like, "What? It's just a suit color." But the truth is, it's really more than just a suit color. I mean, look at the setting. Look at the setting he's in. He fucking stole it. Okay, like you can't. There's no. He stole the fucking whole. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
Red dress and everything.
But what about the armband?
Oh come on, the armband. Fuck that shit. That means nothing. Like this is the most blatant fucking copy I think I've ever seen. Sasha's
now, the Chris Taylor says, by the way, this is coming from someone who actually likes MJ. It's funny because my girlfriend is obsessed with him, and we sometimes clash on these things about MJ's talent. Just because MJ combined different styles doesn't make it any less of a theft. I wish Julian was here because he would probably talk about this in the context of, because a lot of people who are Prince fans will say the Prince is better because he didn't steal. And that Prince wrote all his songs, he produced all his songs.
Let me I hate that. We're way behind now. So Sparky. So that's the thing, right? So you could say that he stole everything, but then combined them all together. So it's kind of, as long as he revolutionized it in some way, put a spin on it, then no. But at the same time, Michael took so many things from so many different artists and didn't give credit, which really fucking bothers me. And by the way, somebody wrote something really dumb here. Hang on. Where is it? Okay, so this was a So what Michael says is that he saw a bunch of kids doing it in the hood, and
that's right.
And that was his way of not crediting Jeffrey Daniels, which actually makes it even worse.
That's fucked up.
Michael did not see it from. Well, here's the thing though. I don't know why I'm saying this because I don't think this is true. I'm saying it to play devil's advocate, okay?
Okay.
But it's possible that he saw kids doing it and then asked Jeffrey Daniels to teach him. Yeah. I don't actually believe that.
That might have been the case because apparently he it was from another interview. He said this exact same thing, but I think he specified it more. He said it was around the 70s during Off the Wall when he saw these kids in the streets doing the moonwalk.
I mean, okay, so I was playing devil's advocate, but that could be true, but we don't know.
Yeah, it could be true. Yeah.
Just because MJ combined different styles doesn't make it any less of a theft, but it does if he's able to revolutionize those styles. Because again, it's not verbatim. It's not. Some of them are, but it's not all verbatim. There are so many things that have been done in his own way, and how I explain the moonwalk is one of those things. It's been done in different dance styles, from tap to robot to pop. Every dance can be done so different. Like you could literally use salsa dancing in a pop video.
Yeah, and plus,
if you do it in a different way.
And plus, MJ wasn't like. I noticed a lot of people tend to act like MJ was the only artist that, stole or other things, or be inspired by people. Because
here's the thing, though. The honest truth is, and I know where you're going with this. Everything is inspired.
Everyone.
And I'm not talking about
something.
Yeah, I'm not. And here's the thing too. I'm not talking about today's artists being inspired by Michael. I'm talking about 80s inspired by 70s, 70s by 60s, 60s by 50s, 40s,
Prince
by 40s, 40s by 30s, 30s by 20s.
Prince was heavily inspired by Jimi Hendrix, and James Brown as well. So he even did stuff that James Brown has done in his performances. So it kind of goes for everybody almost, but it's like, okay, so I'm gonna.
Okay, you gotta understand. We've explained this a lot. Grim Reaper. Everything is inspired or stolen from artists of the past. You gotta understand. Like, do you have any idea how hard it is to create something totally brand new that no one's ever seen before? Yeah. It's the chances of that happening statistically are like 0.000000001. Everything's been done. Like, let me tell you something. And people younger don't know this. You know how everyone says that The Simpsons predicted this and that?
Oh yeah.
First of all, here's the thing. First of all, that's debunked. It's not actually true. But here's the thing. Even if it was true, even things that Simpsons did where it was actually done before The Simpsons, back in the 70s, back in the 60s, back in the concept.
Yeah.
Whether if it's a TV show, a movie, an acting style, a dance style, a music style, everything has been done and everything comes from somewhere.
No,
Everything you see as we progress through the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and so on, everything is built upon what you see in the past. Everything.
Muffin brings a great point. Muffin brings a great point. He says Elvis fans tend to discredit Michael that he stole from Elvis, but didn't Elvis steal as well? 100%.
Elvis was a massive.
stole.
By the way, can I just say
Wow.
Elvis was one of the biggest thieves in the music industry, and nobody brings it up.
No one.
Nobody.
I mean, people do. People do, but
Well, maybe now, but like as I was growing up, no one ever said a fucking word about it. It was like, what do we got here? Michael Bush once said that the armband on MJF represents peace. No, the armband, yes, but he's talking about the thing here.
That's the arm brace.
Arm brace, thank you.
Arm brace, yeah.
Prince is okay. Matt, you just called me dumb. Okay, I call
Eh.
nothing. Hi, welcome. I'm Matt. Elvis fans tend to discredit Michael. He stole from Elvis, but didn't Elvis too? Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys not being biased and being open to criticism about Andrew. You are legit and very open-minded. Well, yeah, you're on my page. That's how things go here.
Oh, I actually appreciate that because we're all fans with brains. So if you could
Hey Joey, use your brain.
Use your brain, Matt. Okay, I wanna get to the topic of the whole like MJ's performances being repetitive thing. Because I actually had a conversation with one of my with one of my friends who actually, I think last week he left the MJ community. So I told you about this guy. His name is Justin. He used to go by the name Soldiers of Love TV. He is not in the community anymore, and his opinions are now becoming less fanatical. So let's read what he had to say. First, let read Chris's comment.
On a side note, some people tell me I look like Michael. I always take it as a compliment. MJ was a beautiful man.
He was a beautiful man.
Yeah, but hang on. Do they tell you which era you look like? Because if it's after 2002, it's not a compliment.
Bubbles, this comment right here.
I got it. Simply because MJ took inspiration from other artists doesn't necessarily mean it was plagiarism or copying. Every artist takes different things from others. As original as is foreign nowadays. Thank you. Yeah. But again, though, as I explained, we have to keep in mind that there is a fine line, right? Yes. It all comes down to what is he copying from how many people, how many things of Michael's things was not stolen, or is he giving credit? Or is he doing the dances exactly the same, or has he changed it a little bit? And unfortunately, sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes the answer is no.
Mama Save Messiah Makusa is a great example.
There you go. He fucking that was theft. Again,
the guy sued him for I forgot how much, but
so yes, there are some times where Michael took inspiration. There were some times where Michael did his own thing, and there were times where he really did steal.
I feel like most of the time he took inspiration. Oh, there's another thing about that there was one person that said that MJ stole from it was a Will You Be There, and that there was a different song that kind of had like the same like
But here's the thing though. Yeah. I do want to answer a question that started this whole conversation. I want everyone else to answer because I'll tell you my answer first.
Yeah.
As we look at Michael's entire 50-year life, the question is, was he overrated? Yes.
Yeah.
I do think he was overrated. Yes. But was he like criminally overrated? No.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Now here's the thing. If we were to put it into like a percent, right? I'll put it like this. He's viewed in the world as like 100% perfection, flawless. I would personally say that he's really
80.
75, 80. What would you say, guys?
I feel like an 80.
If you were to say that Michael was 100% perfect, but in your opinion he's not flawless, what would you actually say? I would say 75 to 80.
75 to 80 as well.
Wait.
Solid 75.
Because it's like we can't say, because I can't say he's completely overrated, considering the fact that there are a lot of songs that the public won't even talk about. And I feel like I feel like that's for
I
every
just would have been
artist.
happy if he just gave more credit. Like, that's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's not really the hugest deal.
Yes.
I mean,
Hey,
we're all fans for a reason. So
hey
it's like
Joey, I got a surprise for you.
what? Oh, okay. Julian, we are talking about the people, just the fact that MJ stole or the repetitive performances and all that stuff. Oh, I was gonna talk about that because Justin was telling me about this and he was talking to me. So he
Hey
said,
Joey,
yeah,
hey, before you read that, what do you call a guy with a 1-inch dick?
what?
Just in.
Ha ha ha!
You slide on.
I don't get it.
All right, go ahead.
Chris Taylor, Bruno
He's
Mars.
just
I'm
in.
joking. I'm joking. I get it. I get it. By the way,
Yeah.
this whole debate reminds me of the time Michael in his private home movie said, "I don't like to copy people."
Bruno Mars is underrated. Yes, he is underrated.
Okay, actually, oh sorry, read your thing first, and then I'll ask Julian.
All right. Let's do it. He says, by the way, some parts of the Billie Jean performances are kind of boring to me, and the intro where he's just walking around, I don't like that part. And a lot of the breakdown moves are extremely repetitive from what I've seen so far. So I prefer Motown 25 and Victory Tour. So then I was telling him, like, I needed him to specify what he meant by walking around.
The intro.
No, walking around. No. Because in the intro, he's doing the pose and all
He's
that.
taking everything out of the suitcase.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's taking him out of the suitcase. But keep in mind, he only did that during History Tour, nothing else. So
And 2001.
2001, yeah. So he then says, leaving the community gave me the opportunity to see things from a non-fanatical fan point. A lot of Janet is repetitive. I don't like it. I don't like everything she does. There are some performances by her I would watch. Also, fan hype kind of destroyed a lot for me. But I guess you can that's not the one I wanted to read. And yes, the suitcase is what I'm talking about. Now I understand why he did that, of course, but I just can't sit there and watch that. I like being straightforward, which is why I prefer Motown 25. But then I told him, so yeah, he wasn't doing the suitcase during Dangerous Tour. He wasn't doing the suitcase during Bad Tour.
I have 2 points to make. And this is important. Number one, I don't know if this is because maybe he and you guys are younger, if you agree, but the thing with the suitcase is that it's more of an artistic choice and it builds suspense.
Yes.
So I love it.
100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that.
Like, I love how in 2001 he pulls the glove out and the audience goes fucking ballistic. That is suspense and it's art.
Yep.
Now,
and they put that in the MJ the Musical.
Now, I have one other thing I wanted to say. One thing that people need to pay attention to very carefully is this. With a career as long as his, it makes sense that things will get repetitive and maybe feel a bit stale because he's been doing it for 45 years. I assure you that if most artists lasted 40 to 50 years, you would find them repetitive too. But the thing is, you feel like Michael is the most repetitive because he's had the longest career in the entire industry. So naturally, he will feel repetitive because he's been doing it the longest amount of time.
Now, I'm asking Julian this question because I think he's one of the only people who really knows and studied Prince. So, like the whole MJ Prince comparison's fucking ballistic bullshit.
Yeah.
But, there are some people that say Prince wasn't repetitive and he didn't, all that shit. Do you think he was repetitive? Performances?
You want to know what was crazy? Is that he did, but you want to know what was amazing about Prince is that he knew when something was getting repetitive, he would fix it up. So, for instance, I remember around 2015, he rechanged Let's Go Crazy, and where it was a lot slower, a lot more bluesier, and a lot more heavier. And he would start the shows with that song, and it was just brand new. It was almost like a brand new song, even though it was Let's Go Crazy. And that was the amazing thing about Prince is like he knew when something was getting stale or just getting crazy, getting old or stale, he would kind of
another thing he would
Let me ask you a question, actually.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Julian. So you talk about how Prince would change a couple things if he felt it was getting stale. I have a question though. Do you believe? Because I think this is true. do you believe that if Michael was to do the same thing, a lot of fans would be like, "Oh no, I wanted to see the." For example, let's say let's say that famous Billie Jean pose. Michael thought to himself, you know what? That pose is stale. I'm going to do a different thing in the beginning of Billie Jean. I personally think, and I don't know if you agree, that fans, if they saw in like '97, all of a sudden a different Billie Jean pose, be like, "Oh, I wanted to see that classic pose. Now I'm seeing something different," and they'd be disappointed because I would be.
Yeah, I mean the thing is like Prince fans and Michael Jackson fans are very different. They're very different, you know. Prince fans are very used to Prince kind of changing things around all the time, while Michael Jackson has always just kind of kept the same act, you know,
Yeah.
for a
But the
long
thing is,
time.
Hey,
though,
Michael Jackson
my
was
right to, the
Michael
thing is,
Jackson. Hold on, I did this. I have to say because Michael Jackson was going to do a lot of different things with One Night Only.
Yes, that is true. That
One
is
Night
very
Only,
true.
he was going to do different routines for Smooth Criminal, different routines for Thriller,
Billie Jean as well.
Billie Jean. Yeah, it was all going to be different, and that never fucking happened because he collapsed during
And
rehearsal.
I really wish it happened too. I
I
would
wish
have
it
loved
happened
to have
too.
seen what he could have done with those. You know,
So the other thing I was gonna say was like people are so it's I don't think it's as simple as people are used to Michael. It's that and tell me if you tell me if I'm wrong because you're the Prince expert. But I think Michael had more iconic things, and when things are iconic, you have to keep doing them because that's why they're iconic. If you have more iconic things, then you look more stale because you're doing the same, let's say, 30 iconic things over and over. But the thing is, if you only have one trademark, then you can do that one trademark but change everything else. If you have 30 trademarks, you have to stick with your 30 trademarks. Don't you agree?
I mean, see, here's the thing about Prince. Like, he was very popular for the purple trench coat. Like that was his thing, right? During the 1999 tours and the Purple Rain tour, anytime he was gonna perform Purple Rain, or 1999, he would come in with that iconic purple trench coat. But after that period, like around 1990 or around 1982 and 1984, after those periods kind of happened, he kind of stopped that, and I don't know, like it's not like even though like many fans are known for him having that iconic trench coat, he never had it for the rest of his career, and fans were okay with it. And at the same time, it's like he also changed the compositions for songs as well.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't just like a move or something like that. It was like the whole composition.
yeah. Like
But,
there's
but
a
again,
great example. There's a
it goes
great
back to my
example.
question though. Was he able to do that without the fan base kind of being like, "Oh, I'm no longer hearing that iconic thing"? Because if Michael did it, it would be like, "Oh, he's changed what's iconic." Because the thing is with Michael, it wouldn't be just a change; it would be an iconic change,
Mhm.
and it would
Yeah,
be
that's the thing is like if Michael were to change it, it would have to be just as iconic. Like I remember for This Is It, he
I
was
think.
gonna have.
Sorry, let me just correct you. I think what you mean is that it can't be iconic because then people wouldn't be as long. Because if it's not iconic, it won't bother people. The more iconic it is, the more people want it to stay the same.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess like if Michael were to do it, I guess people would be angry if that's your question, right?
Yeah. So what I think is that the more iconic it is, the less you can change it because people want to see that iconic thing. Whereas if something isn't iconic, you can change it and people won't care.
Mm. I guess, yeah, I guess so. I mean, at the same time, Michael Jackson and Prince are again very different. Like
Yeah.
again,
So
like the
like
fan bases were very
So I
different.
think that
You
I think
know,
that Prince was able to make changes because people weren't as like invested in whatever changes he made. Sorry, the original, right? Because
yeah,
with Michael, right from Motown, people wanted to see that Billie Jean pose. Now,
Mhm.
by the way, he did change it. By the way, if you look at Bad Tour, Billie Jean, Danger, he did
yeah,
change
he
the
changed it.
hand
Yeah,
movements a little bit. Obviously, they're very very minimal, but he still did it. But the thing is, though, if he did a completely different pose and he was no longer thrusting, no longer doing the two kicks, you'd be like, okay, I wanted to see that classic pose. Where'd it go? Right?
hmm
Those changes really mean a lot
right.
with MJ because Michael put so much emphasis on his iconic things, whether if it's an iconic dance move, an iconic pose, an iconic point, an iconic outfit.
I'm trying to talk.
You know? Huh?
Hey, Johnny's trying to say something. Johnny, what you trying to say?
Oh, I just wanted to, I know it's about dance moves, but didn't Michael change a lot in This Is It from the original to the demos?
He was gonna, yeah, he was. I remember for Billie Jean, he was
Billy,
supposed to
I
add
know
a
Billie
lot
Jean
more.
was a demo version.
You mean for the
Oh,
song or the dance?
The song.
Well, keep in mind they put the demo on top of the documentary to it's fake. He wasn't actually
Oh.
singing that. It's fake.
Yeah. So Justin would probably be like, so he then says this, because then I was saying kind of what you were saying with the whole, like, if you change something, then probably people would be like, because no moonwalking Billie Jean is in my opinion ridiculous. Like you need to have the moonwalking Billie Jean. That's
you
kind of
gotta have that in there.
you need.
Exactly. It's like it's the same thing, right? If
Yeah.
Michael said, "You know what? I'm going to change Billie Jean, and I'm going to do the moonwalk during the third Who Will Dance on the Floor in the round," people would be like, "No, can you not do that?" Or they'd be like, "You know what? I've decided I'm going to do a side glide instead of a moonwalk." Like, no, he put it in stone, and that's the thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I don't. He's not gonna care if I call him out here because he's fucking great. But if he did the one night only thing with different shit, I would have loved it. Honestly, the only reason why I can't get into the tour as much is because regardless of it, if you change a step or two, or maybe even a few, it just feels like you're watching the same thing. And I like performers who are more versatile with it. Like, I know he was a versatile dancer, but I like people who kind of change shit up. Like sometimes Janet, when she does the If performance, that's a really good song. She might not go all crazy with choreography, and that's okay as long as it's there. But MJ also did heavy improv with Blood on the Dance Floor. He was doing a lot of different moves.
There was a lot of improv.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, his heaviest improv was Jam by a million miles.
Oh, I know, but I'm referring to Blood on the Dance Floor simply because he did a lot of different moves that he didn't even do in fucking Munich. So like there's one like he's doing this. There's one.
Yeah, I
where
know
he's
what you're talking.
fucking like,
Improvisation.
Or
yeah,
how about in Monza, Italy, where he was like laying on the ground?
yeah, he's doing like a fucking like, yeah.
Okay, sorry guys, we need to look at chat for a minute. We're way behind here.
MJ
Okay,
also changed
I
a
would
lot in
recommend-
Smooth Criminal.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say 60% many things of what he did wasn't his inspiration or not. So
Oh, yeah.
sorry. Okay, so the percents was I was asking people because so if a fanatic thinks that Michael is 100% flawless, I was saying, what do you think he actually is? And I was saying 75 to 80, and now they're saying 60. Podcast says 80, 50%. Oh, only half. Damn. Have you guys watched this is MJ is irrelevant video? It's a short video, but it's getting a lot of attention. Okay, I need to look this up. Muffin
I've never heard of
Instagram,
it.
please, right away. Okay, I don't think Michael was super overrated, but he kind of overrated himself with some of his hype videos, like the brace yourself into. Oh, so you mean like he showed that he was like a god? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
thing is, like,
definitely.
let me go on that for a minute. Actually, Michael was. This is true. I'm sorry if you don't agree, but like, I know mental health. Michael was a narcissist. He fucking was. I don't care if you disagree. He was a fucking narcissist.
He had photos of himself in his house.
He was. So what he was, because you know how Michael also would constantly insult himself, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and if you don't know, narcissists have an extremely big ego but low self-esteem, meaning that they will constantly be like, "Oh, I'm the best, I'm the best," and then 2 seconds there, would be like, "Man, that really sucked." So,
Yeah, canceled.
and Michael did that constantly. So yes, he was a narcissist, and that's why things like he had a picture in Neverland of him knighting himself. Okay,
Yeah.
like.
Weird.
And then sitting on the throne and videos like "Brace Yourself." Yes,
Oh, yeah,
absolute
yeah.
fucking narcissist. But that's how. The thing is, he was so insecure. It is fucking criminal. Like he might be one of the most insecure people in history.
Isn't it true that he told Elizabeth Taylor to introduce him as the king of pop?
That I don't know, guys.
I don't know either. I don't know that either.
I was told that he said to Elizabeth Taylor, "I want you to introduce me as the king of pop. I will only come on the show if you introduce me that way."
I mostly agree with John.
Wow.
When he says that the Jackson is nothing without MJ. Well, duh.
Yeah.
That's not just John. We all say that.
Obvious.
Yeah.
That's obvious.
He definitely got a big head around history. That promo video for history just screams ego. But now I was just talking about him being a narcissist, but I feel it's also important to point out that he did that because it was a comeback and he was trying to put himself back on top after the allegations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, ego or not, during Dangerous tour, that was the peak, and he literally did own the music industry. Like, the truth is,
and even if it was like an ego thing to some, brace yourself. It's still like even though like, you may have your opinions, but I mean, hey, it was kind of like me saying like I'm the biggest celebrity. You know, I broke all these barriers. I did what,
yeah.
you know, like
The thing is,
I you know.
I think we know that the peak of Michael's career was 93. That was the highest, and 94, boom, down. Nothing was higher than 93. That was his absolute peak. So of course he's gonna be like, well, now it's 95, time for my comeback, and I'm gonna put myself back where I was before.
Yeah.
So ego, yes, but he was on top. That's not that wasn't in his head. He was on top.
He was the biggest artist at that time.
In 93, he was basically bigger than Jesus. Like,
He literally complained that he couldn't beat Thriller.
yeah, he did.
Oh,
he wanted bad. He wanted bad to outsell.
Yeah, I don't know how that could have happened.
Muffin sent the video.
Okay, so let me finish chat though. I said this point. That's what I thought, because when you see that, you feel like he was kind of a narcissist. Yeah. Notice with each passing tour, the songs and performances become more and more similar to the studio music. Okay, so let me explain this. Now, this I said earlier in the chat. I want to say it again because Julian wasn't here. So, a lot of people say things like every tour was very similar, and I don't agree. Let me tell you why.
No, I don't agree either.
I don't agree
Well,
either.
I'll tell you why I disagree, though. I think when people say that, they're only referring to History Tour, because if you look at Victory to Bad, very different. You look at Bad to Dangerous, mostly different. And then finally, Dangerous to History, that's where there was very little change. So I think the only time where people think it was the same was History. And people just focus on History too much because it's all we have on YouTube. And it's like the front of people's minds. So if you compare Victory to Bad, Bad to Dangerous, I think there were plenty of changes. If you look at Dangerous to History, there was fucking no changes, almost no changes. So I don't agree. I agree with History Tour, but nothing else.
Another change was in Bad Tour, he didn't do the lean for Smooth Criminal. And in Dangerous Tour, he added the lean. So
yeah, because at the time he hadn't created the shoe yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was the routine.
He wanted to be as close.
But what I noticed though is that his tours kind of improved though. That's what I see. It was more like an evolution. Like, for instance, you know how like there's a bit of a contrast between like Destiny to Triumph. Like Triumph is a little different, but it's not that much different from Destiny. And then but then there's a heavy contrast between Triumph to Victory. But they're both kind of the same, if you kind of feel me. It's just that Victory is just a lot more evolved.
And there's a massive difference between Victory and the second leg of the Bad Tour.
Oh, definitely.
Huge.
Definitely. So, but again, like it was just evolved. It all just kind of evolved, you know, and that's how I feel.
The only things that were different with History Tour were, and I'm literally saying this, the only thing that was different with History Tour were just dance moves that he would do in the numbers, but
and basically after, like, as soon as he finished In the Closet, it was like Dangerous Tour.
It was pretty much I think like a lot of people say that History Tour pretty much, well, if you're not counting the dancing, because I'm not a History Tour fan, I never was, but I will admit the History Tour might have to be some of the greatest dancing MJ has ever done.
For me personally, it's Dangerous Tour.
Yeah, same.
Dangerous. Well, here's the thing. Dangerous had way better energy. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you mean History had more variety of moves.
History had a lot more technical dancing, a lot more variety. There were a lot of moves that he never did in Dangerous, and also moves that he would never do again after one specific concert. Like,
you're right.
Yeah,
there were moves where he would do like the same move for one whole show and then do a different move for another whole show. You notice that?
Yeah, like especially when you get to the Billie Jean breakdown portion, they'd be like one or two moves that you'd never see him do, and then he like retired that move right after that performance.
You're right. Yeah, I noticed that too. I didn't think anybody ever noticed that. So good job.
Because he was doing like an octopus kind of thing. He was doing like a fucking he was doing a lot of he did a lot of tap dancing in that specific. I think it was Sydney '96. He did this like really cool tap move that he never really did.
Sparky Muffin says Victory and History are very different, but look at the jump though. Victory and History, you just skip 2 tours in between that, so of course, very. Tanya, a hater said something funny to me once. They said, "I bet you love it when Michael grabs himself at the end of Billie Jean." I didn't respond, but I wanted to say, yeah, I do like it. I'm a woman. I also love it when Michael uses his deep voice when he talks during his in the closet live performances. It turns me
I don't. I actually don't. I can't stand his voice when he does that.
I like it. It's
Well, what do you think? What do you think of when he uses real voice during the Super Bowl?
We must stand together all around
That
the
turns
world.
me on.
I scented the video. Thanks.
That's so Ashley. That's so.
I scented the video.
You think MJ is 100% underrated? That's shocking. Please explain yourself. I'd love to know your reason. He wanted bad to sell 100 million albums. That's an over the top goal for any. Well, Thriller sold that, but yeah, he wanted bad to beat it. Is it true that MJ once weighed under 100 pounds as an adult? I've seen that rumor here.
Yes,
and there.
yes.
100 pounds at 59 is crazy. Yeah, he
Apparently he was.
Oh, and by the way, a little side note about his weight. When people say that he was 136 at death, I don't believe that. Sorry.
No, he was very underweight during this.
I understand. As someone who understands medicine, I will not. I think they lied. I think they lied.
He was like 100 pounds during Thriller music video. Yeah.
Here's my question: how is it from the ages of 30 to 50? He's still 5'9".
That's interesting.
The trauma I gave Matt. The trauma.
You know, if we spoke to a bunch of diehard MJ fans about this, they would cancel us.
I'm already canceled.
Okay,
No.
I am playing the video that Sparky sent. Hang on.
Okay.
All right. I even commented Michael Jackson is irrelevant. Now this, and we're all going to debunk it, by the way. So.
Yeah.
Woohoo! This is my induction.
It's a video about Michael Jackson being irrelevant.
Michael Jackson
Oh,
will
this is
never
only
not
60
be
seconds.
relevant.
Good lord.
Where's his music playing? Just because.
Can you pause, please? Is that okay? Okay. Here we go.
Michael Jackson will never not be relevant.
Where's his music playing? Just because, man, I can go down. Where's his music?
Okay. Already, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You guys go first.
Okay, here's my take on the Michael Jackson is irrelevant thing. It's not the case that he's irrelevant. I just think it's people don't care about him anymore. You know,
Or it's the fact he's been dead for 13 years.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's
and
also
modern
another thing.
radio is trying to play current artists. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's
Like
yeah.
nobody really cares about him anymore. you
And
know?
when
but the thing is too. But here's the thing: just because even if someone's not relevant in current day, doesn't mean that they're like an irrelevant. Like they're not like they're no longer good or icons or like. Elvis has been dead for how long? He's still the king of rock and roll and still loved around the world. Like that doesn't mean anything.
Same with MJ. I mean, he's got a musical now. He has a Cirque show that's doing very well.
That's still
So
going.
yeah.
He's got a musical.
Like I said, he's got a musical. So it's the fact that and when Julian says nobody, he's referring to the public. And
He just disliked it.
and the mainstream, and he's also referring to the mainstream media. Yeah.
MJ also, after leaving Neverland, and a little bit before that, when Wade was still talking, a lot of radio stations dropped his music altogether.
Yeah.
Well,
They kind of had to though, because you know, it kind of turns out to be like bad publicity if you're
By the way,
playing.
a lot of those stations are now playing his music again.
Yeah, they're playing his music again.
One more point. If he was truly irrelevant, a lot of modern artists would no longer be taking inspiration. Failed on that one.
I agree with that.
You wouldn't be talking about him right now if he was irrelevant.
All right, let's keep going.
Music playing it. When he died, his music was everywhere playing. Where is the relevance of his music?
What a stupid point. Okay, I'll go first. First of all, that's normal. Every time an artist dies, they play if it's an actor, they play their movies. If it's a musician, you play their music. That happens every time any artist dies for any fucking reason. And then after about a year, they start slowing down. So again, why is Michael being targeted? Name me one dead actor, dead musician, dead dancer, dead fucking painter where that is not true.
Olivia Newton-John, I haven't heard one song from her on any radio after she died. Oh wait, that's not true. I heard "Hopelessly Devoted to You."
Okay, go ahead. You guys go.
Oh, that's a great song. This is
Kevin Federline.
I don't know.
Yes, I knew you were gonna do that joke.
I don't agree with anything you're saying here.
Yeah, no, I don't agree either. You know,
Beyonce.
Yes, Johnny, yes.
I mean, if he was irrelevant, then how come Maxwell performed "Lady in My Life"?
Thank
you know,
you.
at the
Thank
Billboard Music Award?
you.
If
Thank
he was
you.
irrelevant, you know, and they
Oh, by
aired
the
it on
way,
TV.
And if he really was irrelevant, then why the fuck are we now getting the Thriller 40th anniversary?
Yeah.
All right, let's continue with the last 4 seconds here.
He'll always be who he is, but homie, he's irrelevant.
Sure, buddy. Whatever.
That sentence makes no sense.
I saw one person say, and I'm not quoting. Well, I don't know, but love it was explained. So, there was one comment.
If you're gonna do an Ashley joke, acknowledge the fucking title of this stream.
There was one comment on. Oh yeah.
Thank you.
There was one. Okay, I want to answer Chris Taylor's question, but after
Let me read the chat first. You want
Read
to
it.
finish?
read it.
Oh, I thought you were talking.
I thought I was so.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I was confused, too.
So there was one comment I read. There was something that MJ said like, "Oh, all my moves. I was inspired. All the children inspired me to do all these moves. Every dance I do, all these." But one person was like, "Does that mean they also inspired you to grab your crotch?"
Okay.
Man. Yeah.
Okay, Johnny, what were you gonna say?
That sentence actually hurt my head.
Okay.
He'll always be what he was. He was a fucking music legend.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
A relevant
Oh, he'll
music-
always be a legend. How can you
legend.
be an irrelevant legend?
Yeah, how can you be? Yeah, and okay. Chris Taylor asked, "Who's the greatest celeb vocalist of all time?"
Hang on, let me read it. Always, yeah, okay. Honestly, he was so painfully thin during this rehearsals. There's just no way he was 136. Thank you. When he dyed his makeup and hair artist Karen face, it looked like he was anorexic. I agree. Anyway,
He's also bald.
also many fans say MJ was 6 foot tall. Nope, and will argue
No.
down if you say he wasn't. He wasn't over. He was around 5'9", possibly a bit. I think he was 5'10" personally.
But yeah,
He just had a good anesthetic body proportion. But I think he was 5'10" to be
I
specific.
think it was fine. Well, I mean, if you read the oh fuck, I can't speak. If you see his driver's licenses from like '84, he says it's like 5'8", 5'9".
It was documented for his death 5'10".
But I'm
5'10"
5'8".
really?
He's definitely taller than me.
I don't know. It was very confusing because
I'm going with 5'10". Sorry.
5'10".
Okay, wait. Thank
Fuck
you.
Wade.
The reason why I think MJ is underrated is because other than the fans, people barely pay attention to the important. Well, okay, so underrated today, but,
Yeah.
but overrated overall, the whole
That-
50 years.
That doesn't make sense because they don't care about us for Black Lives Matter.
All right, people only care about Michael now because his death was so big.
I don't agree with that. Even when he was alive, there were a bunch of people who cared about him, especially during the trials. So,
Who's the best celeb vocalist of all time?
lot.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, I was gonna say Freddie Mercury. Yeah.
Freddie Mercury. But if we were to say MJ, then his Jackson's vocals all the fucking way.
MJ only because he has a wider vocal range. I've done the fucking research myself. Michael Jackson has a higher vocal range than Freddie Mercury, especially in the 90s.
That's actually true, by the way. Even
Yeah,
Eric,
that's true. Erica explained that. About
even Eric explained it. Yes, and Erica's a very good friend.
childhood. He did something Freddie didn't do.
Yeah, so Eric, I am the furthest thing from anything musical, but especially singing. But Eric did explain to me that Michael did something in childhood that even Freddie couldn't do.
He like switched registers.
Yes, thank you. That's what Eric said. Yes, it was something about before you judge me, try hard to love me.
No, it was a before because like to sing. So he was like singers normally go before space. You judge me, and then
That's what it was.
Like holding the it was something.
And apparently Freddie couldn't do that.